Welcome to the Magic on the Inside podcast by the Sisters Enchanted, where we chat magic, hot topics, personal development, and good old-fashioned life. Brew up something delicious and sit with us for a spell.
Welcome to this episode of the Magic on the Inside podcast. I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted.
Oh, hi, I'm Anna, the co-founder of the Sisters Enchanted.
And on this episode
of Magic on the Inside
podcast, we are talking about Halloween,
spooky season,
intuition, and the thinning of the veil.
Veil.
Listen, if you're new here, we have been bringing magic community and all things enchantment online since 2016. And it is our mission to bring intentional living, intuitive living, and everyday magic to the masses so you can change your life and the world around you. Mm-hmm. And it's spooky season.
Spooky season.
Which means
spooky season.
We're going to talk about Halloween today. We're going to talk about the thinning of the veil, what that means. We're going to talk about intuition, what that means. We're going to talk about Expedition to Soul because that's a free class that we're offering. It's happening right now. So you want to get in there. Even though it started, you can still join. There's lots of goodness going on. Prizes, giveaways. It's worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
So you'll want to be in there.
Yes.
And at the end of this episode, we're going to tell you how to get your hands on a free Halloween guide and some other resources. So be sure to listen to the end.
Yes.
Yeah. So
do that.
Anna,
Sarah,
let's just check in for a second.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen you in like a week.
Oh, because you left again?
I left again. I left.
you left.
I went a whole 3 hours away to go camping.
I know.
It's not really camping though, because I'm in a very big RV with electricity.
You're glamping.
And yeah.
You're a glamper.
A cement patio situation.
Glampy glamp.
Glampy glamping.
Yep.
So how's your week been?
I don't know. It kind of got away from me. Yeah. Although I did some spooky season things this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, like corn mazes.
Corn mazes?
Corn mazes and apple picking.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that one of the places we love to get ice cream has a special ice cream that they put maple syrup on as your topping. Like, who knew? So if you've never put maple syrup on your vanilla ice cream, do it.
Libra season. Delivering the goods.
Yeah, Libra season. There's so much happening. There is. It's going to be Chad's birthday. And then Riker's going to turn 1 year old.
And that's Anna's husband and kiddo.
And then my other son, Jacob, is going to turn 10.
Little Scorpio.
Two Scorpio boys. Turning 1 and 10.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's happening really fast.
In Holistic Witchery, we just had a co-witching session, which our student support sorceress Christina.
Yes.
She was the
hostess with the mostest.
The hostess with the mostest
for this scrying.
Yeah, this co-witching. And I was just gonna say that with this Libra season, and we have Scorpio and everything going on. And you can make sure to listen to the next podcast episode that comes out because our program director and I, Sarah, the other Sarah squared, Sarah and Sarah, she's going to tell us all about the Aries full moon for this lunar cycle. But
she's been referring to herself as British Sarah.
British Sarah. I like it. In co-witching, that's part of our Holistic Witchery and Enchanted Journey offer that we have. Anyway, it's Libra season, right? And you're just talking about all the changes and like this discovery of ice cream. And it's like such a little thing. But when you're open to seeing the wonder that's all around you all the time, wonder really does deliver itself. And in that co-witching, they did fire scrying, as you said. Well, co-witching, you come and you do whatever you want to do. But we had been talking about scrying in Holistic Witchery. And then Christina set up a fire scrying to do during the session.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such a, like, it's just this reminder that there are these portals of magic and enchantment all around you.
Yes.
If you see them.
Yes.
even if it's maple syrup on your ice cream.
Yeah. It's reminding me of that time that I house sat for you and I had to cover your scrying mirror because it was scaring the pants off me.
Oh, my scrying mirror.
Yeah, it caused me some stress.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Because who has a scrying mirror pointing like into their bedroom?
Okay. Well, in my defense, my office used to be in my bedroom.
That's true.
And that's where my magic was living. But now we have this HQ. We have Sisters Enchanted HQ. And so whenever I'm home though, and I'm like, oh, I would love to do this bit of magic work or this spell, I'm like, oh, all of my witch things have moved to HQ. And alas, must make magic with this birthday candle and this tea packet, this tea sachet, the sachet of tea, the sachet of tea and my birthday candle, because it's what I have and whatever rogue natural elements my children have brought in from the outdoors.
Like lots of cicada skins.
Yeah, we got so many cicada skins at my house. Anyway, all right. The thinning of the veil. What does it mean to you, dear sister?
To me, I think, well, I like what you said about Libra season and how, you know, you see kind of the magic and the wonder in all things. And I think that specifically this season through the holiday season, because you know how much we love some Santa portals and things, that I find the wonder.
There's a whole episode on that you can check out from last year.
You're curious. Is that this is the time of year that I think that like between now and the holiday season is the time of year that I am like the most aware of the world around me, of nature, of like how I'm feeling, because this is the time of year that I do like actively participate in the wonder of all things. And so the thinning of the veil, it's a time where, you know, if you're intuitive or empathetic or just anybody really, that like you just start to kind of see things a little bit differently or notice things that maybe you wouldn't have noticed before, because it makes it so much easier to connect with the outside world, what's beyond the outside world. And I think just this time of year, because I just am so actively a part of it, that it just is for me.
So when we talk about the thinning of the veil, it's something that's tossed around. You know, you see it on like memes. The veil is thinning. It's the season of the witch.
Yes.
And like, what does that even mean? And I think that when you think of a veil, how like the thicker the veil, you can't see through it. The thinner the veil, you can see right through it.
Right.
And the idea is that when we're inching toward these, like now, and then we say it again on Beltane, usually. So when we look, it's so interesting. I'm taking a sidestep here. It's very interesting.
We're taking a sidestep?
Yeah, that's never happened before. Happens all the time. But this is today's sidestep. When you follow the rhythms of the moon or seasons, there's so many opportunities for renewal constantly. There's like constantly opportunities for renewal. And when we look at the light months versus the dark months, November 1st on the calendar year marks the start of the dark months. And then May 1st is the start of the light months. And so we say that the veil is thinnest around those times. But really this thinning of the veil, it's this like waxing and waning, and it's a progression that's happening all the time. And I think that when you really think about it in our modern world and our modern calendar, that didn't always exist. So this veil idea, it also marks those change in seasons as to when it would have been really noticeable that like, okay, now it's warm out. Okay, now it's cold out. And so depending on where people were in the world, that time actually could have been way different, could have varied. It might not have been exactly on this day. So just keep that in mind. You know, so often people want the exact right thing, the exact right answer, and there's not an exact right answer. And if people tell you there is, then they're pulling one over on you. They're pulling the veil down on you. But this thinning of the veil, it's when we are approaching a change, really. And it's a noticeable change. So right now, every single day here where we live in Connecticut, it is noticeable daily. It's getting darker earlier by like chunks of time. It's very noticeable.
Just the difference between driving from my town to your town. Like pulling into Sisters Enchanted HQ, there were so many orange leaves on the ground, and that's not quite happening where I am. I don't know if it's because it's like maybe like where I am is a little bit more shoreliney, but I don't know. But you drove into like this town, and it was like the shift is happening.
Oh yeah, no, there's already like 4 inches of leaves in my driveway. My driveway dips down. It's got like a 6-inch it's a gravel driveway, and there's cement on either side, so it's lower. And we have 2 huge maple trees in my front yard. They're very big and glorious. I love them with all my heart. But they like, obviously when leaves fall this time of year, I mean, there are a lot of leaves and they fall into my driveway. So they fill that gap, and you can already kick through them and kick them up in the air walking. There's so many. Yeah. But
it must just be just this slight difference between like.
Yeah, well, you're probably 2 miles closer to the ocean than I am.
That's what I mean. Like I'm a more shoreliney.
Yeah, you're not that much, because from where we are right now, HQ to the ocean isn't that much farther than where your house is to the ocean, but you're probably a good mile closer, maybe. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe the kinds of trees. Anyway. So, but it's this noticeable shift. That's what we talk about with the thinning of the veil, is the noticeable shift. And every single day we notice it. So with this idea of noticing around us, we might also be able to use our intuition to notice the things we can't see, notice the call of our ancestors more, notice.
You have to remind me to tell you something.
Okay. The autumn sprites. Notice the mythological creatures.
The gnomes.
The gnomes. We might notice our own inner knowing a little bit more. So the whispers of the trees. So this thinning of the veil, as we can see around us, the shifts, they're obvious shifts. The same thing is happening energetically, and we might be able to notice it more now than we typically would as the veil is thinning. And it's a great time to work with your intuition and this thinning of the veil. So what's the story you want to tell me?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, and there can be pause for reaction, but we're not going to get into the whole story, obviously. But I was pulling off the exit to here today. And as soon as I put my blinker on, I turned the radio station and the Summer of '69 started playing.
I know. I have been stalked by the numbers 6 and 9 this entire year, like in a creepy way.
And I was on my way to you, and I was turning on my blinker. I hit the radio station, and it was like at the last chorus of that song.
It's really, it's alarming.
It is alarming, and it's alarming so much so that like now I'm starting to see them regularly in alignment with you.
Yeah, no, I am like. I mean, it's everywhere constantly.
Yes, I know.
I open up like our banking information, and it'll be like 6966996, or like our emails, and it's like 6996 emails. It's constant. It's absolutely constant. And I have no idea what.
I don't know either, but I forgot to tell you because it was literally, I was like, oh, I'm almost to Sarah. Here's our exit.
I know.
And there it was. And I was like, no.
I know. And we've done all of the things. Like, I mean, we've obviously like discussed the numerology of it, the angel numbers. We've pulled the cards. We've looked from every angle. And at this point, I'm just trying to receive it in.
Hold on for one more day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the 6 and the 9, if you just put it sideways, it's also, we talked about this, the Cancer symbol. I'm Cancer rising.
Yeah.
So we did talk about that. It's also, it could be like the yin yang and balance, harmony.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just don't know.
I don't see if it's a harmony. I feel like it's being a little heavy handed.
I know. No, it's like
it's harmonic.
Being a, you know what?
I know.
It's not really feeling harmonious.
It's not feeling harmonious. It's feeling like tarot stalker cardish.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to wait and see.
But I thought you should know that happened on the way here.
Thanks for telling me that.
You're
no,
welcome.
Thanks.
Right. No.
Okay. So let's give you some tips on working with your intuition, and then the thinning of the veil. So tarot cards.
Yes.
Get yourself some if you don't have them. Right.
Lots of fun.
Yeah. Pendulum. Can
also
make
lots
one.
Of fun.
Make one, buy one.
Yep.
Sit down for a few minutes, close your eyes, and just breathe and ask, what do I need to know right now? And just breathe. Maybe even set a timer and wait for the timer to go off for 2 or 3 minutes. And then when it goes off, open your eyes, and whatever you think to do next, go do it.
Yeah.
That's a great intuitive exercise to just check in with yourself.
Free journaling.
Free writing, yeah.
Scrying.
Yeah.
Some fire
scrying. All sorts of things.
Yeah.
Practice working with your intuition and then working with the thinning of the veil. Walk around a cemetery, not as spooky as it sounds.
No, actually really
so peaceful.
Peaceful and cleansing.
Is it strange that that's where I go when I'm having emotional breakdowns?
No, I've done that too. I've taken, especially, on days, it hasn't been in a while, but where I was feeling super duper or just worn out, stressed, didn't know what to do. I would grab a journal and drive to the cemetery here in the town of Sisters Enchanted HQ and open my hatchback and like sit there with a blanket, and I would write and just like breathe in the air.
Well, 2021 has been I don't know, it has torn my soul apart. Maybe that's what this 69 is about. Well, it's true. And I have to put it back together. But if I'm having a complete emotional meltdown, I'm just crying. Cemetery is a great place to go because it makes sense that you're crying in a cemetery. That's what I feel.
Is that the conclusion?
No one's going to look at you like you're weird.
That's the conclusion you've come to.
Hey, just sit in your car and cry.
So you go to the cemetery for camaraderie.
Yeah. No. I go and I park in front of my husband's father and his.
So you go to a different cemetery than I do.
Yeah, I go to Ted's cemetery. That's my father-in-law. My husband's father is buried there, and they're I guess my husband's oldest brother, he passed right after birth. So, but it would be his oldest brother. He's buried there with the dad, with my husband's dad. And so I park in their spot.
And cry.
I get out and I visit them too. And then I thank them for their support. And then I mosey on. Anyway, walking around a cemetery.
You can't tell that Sarah and I aren't emotionally awkward at all.
I know. Well, I used to drive to the beach because we live right near the ocean. So I would drive there when I was just needing a break. But everybody does that. And there was one particular day this year where I was crying for I just cried for 4 hours, just a massive emotional release. And I was I can't go to the shoreline because everybody is going to be parked next to me and just see me sobbing in my car. So I went to the cemetery, and that's what started my cemetery escapes.
I thought you were going to say that you drove to the shoreline one day and you were going to cry, and you looked next to you and the person in the car next to you was crying, and you were like, oh no.
We can't all cry together.
We can't all do
That's not
this.
how that happened. So anyway, so cemeteries, that's a great place to just explore that thinning of the veil. Sit with a tree and ask the tree, what stories do you have to show me, or give me the sense of, or what can I hear, see, sense in this moment?
All of those things.
Yeah. Fairies, mythological creatures, fairy tale stories, all great things to explore here at the thinning of the veil time. Other past, present, future versions of yourself.
Yes.
And ancestors. Write a letter to your loved ones who've passed.
There you go.
Ask for a sign.
Get excited for spooky season.
Spooky
season. Spooky season. I sing that all day, every day.
This reminded me of Suki. Remember True Blood?
Yeah, I do remember True Blood.
Okay, anyway, this is really going down a path of nonsense.
No, we had lots of really good things to say here.
Yeah. We told them, listeners, dear listeners, we would tell you how to get your free Halloween magic guide. There's 2 ways. It's got lots of great ideas for celebrating spooky season, Samhain, Halloween. You can get it by registering for Expedition to Soul.
Woo!
If you didn't yet, it will be in your welcome email as our thank you for registering. You can also find it if you download our app, and
do that.
You'll find it in the freebies. You go to courses in the app, and it's in the freebies section. It's a little misleading that it's in courses, but anyway, you go there, and then there's a freebies section.
There is.
And that is where the Halloween guide is. So you can find it there or by registering for Expedition to Soul, and it's in your welcome email.
Do it.
Do it. It's good.
It is good.
It's free. It's multiple pages of goodness.
It is.
Anna made it look lovely.
Oh, thanks.
So Anna's good at that. I not so much. We've had a real glow up in the last 18 months with Anna designing PDFs as opposed to me doing it.
Adults.
Yeah.
Professional.
I know. Now we have 2 professional graphic designers. Like we have 2 people on our team who actually went to college for graphic design.
And I'm still doing lots.
And Anna's still, Anna's like, I'm not one of them, but I still make the things.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, you're way better at it than I am. All right, y'all, if you like this episode, be sure to share it with your friends. Sharing is caring and it helps us out a lot. Give us a review, rate, subscribe, all of that good stuff so that you don't miss the next episodes that come out, because our next episode is about the Aries full moon as part of this lunar cycle. And then after that, our next episode is going to be about the witch archetype. So you're going to want to hold your hats for that. And then after that, we're talking with some of our contributing teachers.
Indeed.
About all things Halloween. So
indeed.
Yeah. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and join us in Expedition to Soul.
Do it.
Yeah. Do it. Do it.
All right.
All right. Until next time,
we hope you
have an enchanted rest of your day ahead.